This is Huck Jr., the host of In the Hut, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Network. All barbecue and grilling, all the time.
From my heart and from my hand, why don't people understand my intention?
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shake a face.
I'm shaking like a dog shitting peach seeds.
You could use it to fight off creeping marauders looking to take your steaks off your grills.
I just like being anywhere with Junior, Senior, and Diva.
Sounds like a whole other type of movie.
Wow. Yeah, really. Keep it hot, keep it clean, keep it lubricated.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
Top men in the highest stations of revelry. Welcome back. Second hour. Happy to have you aboard here. The rock and roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, and I will say it's the that it's the barbecue capital of the North Coast, because nobody can tell me otherwise. I could tell you that I make the best barbecue on the North Coast. Nobody be able to say anything about it. There's really no barbecue out here. It's a devil's world out here in Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm running the roost. Thanks again to Leanne Whippen for joining me first hour. Also, Bob and Don Denner from Boondoggle Barbecue. So good luck to them at the American Oil Open and subsequently there in the Jack Daniels as well. And we'll go ahead and race over to the phone lines and grab our guest for the second hour. He's a world-class barbecue promoter, guy that puts on some of the best barbecue competitions out there. He's been making a run for the KCBS. He's also on BBP Pitmasters Season 2, and he will be on the episode that airs tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's friend of the show, Thom Emery, joining us here. Tom, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for asking, Tom. And we've got certainly a couple different issues to cover here during the second hour of the show, affectionately known as the After Dark segment. But maybe, Tom, for the folks that might not be as intimately familiar with you as I am, give us a little history on the background of Thom Emery and how you got into the whole barbecue deal.
Just doing a web search for barbecue recipes, and I stumbled into a website about competition barbecue, and being a competitive guy, I said, this is for me. And, turned the life upside down, basically. We went from racing BMX bikes with my kids to cooking with my boys cook with me. So we've been doing that for like 6 years now and had a great time promoting contests. I was president of the California Barbecue Association and really enjoyed that time. And now we're promoting contests and cooking with some great guys and having a good time and looking at doing some other things.
All right, Tom, we have like the worst phone connection ever on the face of the earth. Do you have access to the Skype?
Let me try it, brother.
Let's try it.
This thing.
Nah, let's try it. I think it's going to sound great.
Okay.
All right. Hang up and call me right now.
All right.
All right. Never question me. I'll tell you what sounds good on the show and what sounds like crap. That sounded like crap. There's no way I could put up with even 8 more seconds, let alone 35 plus minutes of tin-sounding phones. It would be horrible. All right, Tom, how are you?
All right,
Tom, we have like the worst. Oh, no. Tom, turn the show off. Tom. Oh, the Echo Monster. No.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Oh, my goodness. Tom, you have to turn the show off. You're hearing me in delay. You have to turn the show off that you're listening to on the computer. Turn it all the way off. There you go. I think he's disconnected me. This is great. I thought everybody heard the show where John Patty of JP Custom Smoke got caught in what has now become known as the Echo Monster. Let me bring you up to speed, Centralites, on the technology that happens here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city. We're streaming audibly, and what happens is the show actually starts at, for instance, for me, it starts at 8 o'clock, 59 minutes, and 35 seconds. That's when the show starts here live. So there's a gap of like 25 seconds, and that really has all the problems associated with it right there. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing better, brother.
Oh, man, this sounds world class, baby. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I used Skype. This is the second time.
You got caught in the Echo Monster, didn't you?
Well, you know, I didn't close that other window.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's happened. See, John Patty just never. At least you figured it out. It took John Patty getting a call from his brother or from his son-in-law all the way in Germany to let him know what the hell was going on. All right. So anyway, you're doing competitions with your kids. You're also promoting barbecue, and I mean, how many competitions would you say you're doing a year?
I only do 4 because that's the maximum, and I'm actually trying to give 2. I think I'm going to be giving 2 of those away to a group. We haven't agreed about that yet, but I think I'm going to be giving 2 away. So I'll be down to just the hometown cook-off, the Stagecoach Championship, which is right here in my hometown. So that's really what I want to do.
And how many will you actually take part in competing in?
I will probably cook once a month at minimum, and we'll see see where that goes. I've been doing some other things. I went to Mesquite and cooked with David from Butcher's Barbecue, and we ran an organizers roundtable there. That was we had a great time. It's just fun to see everybody. You know, it's half the thing is just seeing the guys and the gals and just enjoying each other, company. You know. So
is that what it is for you? Is it not really about getting Team of the Year honors and scraping up all the cash and getting all the sponsors and doing it 35, 40 weekends out of the year? You just want to be out there maybe once a month and just kind of soak up the camaraderie, obviously get the promotion out as you need to for your events, but just kind of revel in what a lot of competition barbecue has become known to many people out there.
Yes, I have no intention of trying to cook every weekend. I mean, I live in the corner of the United States. It's just really, it would be very, very difficult to try to do that from here. And I just, these guys, these Ironmen that do this, I mean, that's what we've been calling them lately. Just these guys are Ironmen, and it's just incredible what they do. And I just don't have that. Just don't have that kind of, I'm active in my church and I have my self-employed, and there's just no way I could do it. So, God bless them, You look at the standings and you see, Rod Gray is poked back up at the top of KCBS. Mike Wozniak has been really right around the top for the last many years. And I had both of those guys on recently, and you're certainly well-versed in what competition's all about, Tom. Mike made it very clear when I had him on 3 weeks ago that he was going to be, if need be, taking it all the way down to the bitter end, kind of like it did last year at the end for Team of the Year. Rod Gray had initially kind of passed off saying he wouldn't want to do that again, but when I talked with him maybe 2 weeks ago, he said that had some time off, kind of recuperated, feels rejuvenated, and if the push had to come to shove in order to do it again, he'd probably fire it back up and go all the way down back to that last competition in Arizona again. These guys are just on a completely different level as far as what they're committed to, right? Oh, yes, that's a very small group of cooks that do that. I mean, most of the guys, if you look at the statistics, most of the guys are doing 4 or 5 a year. That's kind of what it is, So maybe even less than that. Pickle Pig had those numbers up, and it was shocking how many people only do 1 or 2 contests a year. So that's that's the other side of KCBS. I think we kind of lose sight of that because all the attention's paid on the top, and as it should be, because those guys are just doing incredible things. But we got to take care of the whole organization. Thom Emery joining us here on the show. All right, Tom. So let's go ahead and transition over to the TV side of things. You were able to take part in Season 2 of Barbecue Pitmasters. Your episode will be airing this coming Thursday, which is tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TLC. So you were a fan of probably the first season, or maybe you weren't a fan, but at least you saw it, and it has rapidly changed in format. A lot of people were very vocal initially about not liking the way it changed, and
They wish that the name of the show would have changed if they were going to do that to the format as how they did. How did you like the first season? How do you like the second season? And is there anything in between that they share a like or dislike?
Really enjoyed the first season, of course. This has been fun to participate. Was a lot of fun. If you notice the edits of the shows from the first episode to the ones that are last couple that have aired, and then this one coming Thursday, the edit process has changed, and they're putting more emphasis on the cooking and the process of cooking, and less on the good smoking luck and all that kind of silly stuff that goes with it. Which I understand it's a TV show, and we all knew what we were getting into, but it's just, that's not the cooks don't really care for that part of it. And if we can spend more time, I mean, that rib episode, that was great. That was good stuff. I mean, we had that was like being at a contest. The guy, everybody's teasing back and forth, having fun. That's what it's about. That's why I cook. I mean, I'm not chasing $35,000 prizes because it ain't going to happen.
Tom, worst catchphrase ever. Good smoking luck or Seacrest out?
I don't know, man. Grilling like a villain might be in that category too, but good smoking luck. I mean, brother, come on. I mean,
the worst ever.
I almost put that on my my tagline on my signature in the barbecue forum. It's like, good smoking luck. It's so bad.
All right, so
God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah, certainly. Why not? I've had a number of the competitors that have taken place on the show this year kind of give their take about what happened, what the experience was like. Obviously, we're watching what you cannot say because nobody wants to get anybody in terms of legal trouble, of course.
Yeah.
So who did you team up with, and how did your relationship come to be? Because it's kind of like East Coast meets West Coast to cook on the West Coast.
The guys from Three Eyes were looking for somebody with a backwoods smoker, and because I know a lot of people through the internet, I got an email from Dan Hickson, who's Big Dan Hickson, just a wonderful guy. Said, "Hey, do you know anybody who's got a backwoods smoker? I'm going to be on TV and I want to do this thing." And I emailed back, "Sure, I can find somebody." And then we talked, we bounced it back and forth for a while, and I said, "Dude, I'll go buy one." So I knew where there was a used one, and we put the thing together. So cooked with Dan and the other Dan McGrath and Chris Big Ugly Hall. They're all head cooks. They're all very successful in their own rights, but they gather together to become Three Eyes. And I was the fourth eye, the eye on the fire, I guess, because these guys are chefs, man. And I'm a meat burner, man, just a guy who can maybe gets lucky and the ribs come out once in a while, But these guys are real chefs. So it was just a lot of fun to be with them.
So did they drive out from?
No, they flew. That was the reason they wanted wanted somebody on the West Coast. I'm out in the desert. It's just it's like 100, maybe 130 miles into where we did the taping, and it was no big deal. Blew 3 RV tires getting there, but we got there.
And do they come armed with rubs and a whole bunch of stuff, or were they more empty-handed than full bagged?
We shipped a lot of things there. I had my RV trailer full of things just in case, because we didn't know what we were going to cook. And it turned out that the pantry was very well stocked. I mean, that was just really well done. First class operation. We did use a few things. The tsunami rub, from Chris there at Dizzy Pigs. We used that, and of course we used Three Eyes rub because that's their signature deal, and
sure.
We used that on a lot of things. But the tsunami was used also.
Were the teams made aware that there was going to be this full pantry of ingredients that they were going to be able to use? They knew all about that going into it.
Yes, we're the head cooks were able to request items, and they obliged, and it was very well done. I mean, it was put together by somebody who knew how to cook, obviously, because the items you think, oh, we need this, and there it was. So so somebody who knew how to cook really well did the deal.
I had Diva Q on last week, who was on the most recently aired episode. Obviously, there was no Pitmasters on last Thursday because nobody wanted to go against opening night in the National Football League, which is certainly
a wise decision.
Very wise,
right.
No doubt about it. But she was on the week prior to that, and she made it very clear that going into this competition, everything was made completely aware. There was no wool over the eyes. Would you say that that was an accurate statement? Were you guys made fully aware and everything was fully disclosed on what could possibly happen when you're getting out there?
Yes, the release we signed made it clear that, they were in charge and we weren't. And, that's the way it was. And, you went into this with your eyes wide open. So that's what we got. I mean, it was a bit of a surprise. The elimination round was a bit of a surprise because we didn't realize they were going to do that. But that was part of the agreement, that they were in charge and we weren't. So, it's okay. Let's go for it.
All right. So when you get in there, and are you allowed to say what you're cooking tomorrow or no?
It's in TV Guide, turducken. It's they have a fancy title. Foul Play is the title of the episode, and we're cooking turducken. So that's in TV Guide. So I'm not, disclosing anything that's out of the ordinary there.
All right. So turducken. So definitely not what you would see at a normal competition, but I guess over the last many weeks, we have defined the fact that BBP Pitmasters is not a competition barbecue show anymore. It is a game show that has sometimes what you would find at a barbecue competition. But turducken is something you would not normally have to deal with. You have a lot of experience with turducken, Tom?
Never have eaten turducken, let alone cooked turducken. So,
all right. So when they tell you what the main what the main meat of the day is going to be, do you shit your pants a little bit, or are you like, hey, what a great challenge?
No, you know what? I was so excited because the response of the guys I was cooking with was high fives because they do turducken, as a fun thing to do when they're getting together at the holidays. It's like, dudes, those are the right guys, man.
So
doing the high fives,
Can you explain to the people out in Centralightville that have no idea or have never heard what a turducken is? Can you tell us what that is?
You've got a turkey with a chicken inside it and a duck inside of that. So, and dressing, and it's just it makes it for an interesting presentation when you slice it and put it on a plate and you see the different rings of meat, the different types of meat. It probably won't grace our holiday table this year, but it was interesting experience. Let me tell you, brother.
It sounds like it could be the potentially worst salmonella poisoning type thing. I mean, having that many different poultry stuffed inside of one another, you have to know exactly what you're doing to make sure that everything is kind of that right temperature to get everything out of the danger zone, and one isn't hiding inside of another, causing potential throw up and explosive diarrhea.
Well, yes. Those thermometers were definitely used at that day. You're right. There was that was an issue, and we had to be careful of that, of course.
Is it easy to overcook at that point then?
Well, you've got that greasy duck in there, and that the chicken. That was the white meat on the chicken. There was some concern that would be would turn out dry, trying to get the whole thing done, and that the chicken's going too fast and you got this greasy duck in the middle, and it actually turned out. I don't want to go too far with this, but I was really surprised at how good it came out.
I was going to say, you don't have to tell us how well it did, obviously, in the show, but how did it taste? I would imagine you were able to sample what it tasted like.
Well, sure. It tasted like each element. The chicken obviously was heavily influenced by its two neighbors, but it tasted like you would expect. I mean, it didn't taste like rattlesnake. So anyway,
and are they subsequently turkey is the biggest, and then it's a little bit smaller duck, and then it's a little bit smaller chicken, or
no, the other way around? Turkey, then a chicken, then a duck.
Okay, and it's the biggest turkey, and then a smaller than the turkey chicken, and then a smaller than the chicken duck.
Correct. It's by size.
Oh my!
And these are all boneless, so you just sort of loop them together, and it's quite and they're dressing in there also as part of your presentation, and then you make a gravy and. Anyway, it's an interesting dish.
Right, so definitely trying to tie in maybe a little bit to the holidays that are coming up there for the turducken. Can you share what the Sidewinder challenge was?
No, that hasn't been released, so I can't go with that. But it's just as surprising as the others.
All right, and then I would imagine there was also a side dish challenge as well.
A side dish that was a perfect match for the turducken, and I can't tell you what it was, but the guys I was cooking with did an excellent job on it. It was I'd actually not eaten these things in years, and had it, and I go, wow, that's really good. So, I've been doing Weight Watchers now for about a year, so I've lost quite a bit of weight, and your taste buds lose their, it's just a different lifestyle, So it's been different for me.
Who are the other teams that are on there? Obviously, Leanne Whippen is going to show up tomorrow night. You guys, Three Eyes, are going to be showing up. Who are the other two teams on there with you?
A Boy and His Grill, Sean. I'm sorry, I cannot remember his name. Really nice guy. It's actually Iowa Smokey D's business partner. Really a nice guy, his wife. And Big Mouth Barbecue. They're like 4 school teachers out of Memphis, I believe. We were teasing them and calling them the Black Eyed Peas because they had a very interesting makeup of their people, but one wonderful sense of humor they had, and we were teasing back and forth and they were really a lot of fun. And my son was there too. He was not cooking; he was just helping us set up and whatnot. And he actually ended up hanging out with them and really had a good friendship going. They had just a good time. So my whole family got to be in the audience too. So that was quite a. So tomorrow night I've got everybody coming over, and everybody I'm related to is on this show in one way or another.
Oh.
So.
It's a family affair out there.
You know what? We're close, and it was, they had a deal for the audience, and I asked about it. And I said, sure, no problem, because they were bringing that small audience in. So
right.
Part of the audience is my family.
All right. So again, I'm sorry. This is Thom Emery joining us. He'll be on the Barbecue Pitmasters TV show tomorrow, and that airs on TLC at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that would be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if you're on the left coast. And make your own time zone adjustments as necessary if you're in the middle of those two coasts. So when you purvey or as you survey the other teams, obviously Leanne Whippen has quite a bit of experience underneath her belt when it comes to competitions and restaurant experience, chef experience. I've never heard of the other two before. Obviously, I've heard of Three Eyes Barbecue, very successful in the competition circuit, doing very well again this year. Did you feel very confident that you guys would at least have a fighter's chance in this competition after you see who else was pitted against you? No pun intended.
We felt good about it, and then when we heard the category, we felt really good about it, just because the guys had experience with that, and so it wasn't that part was interesting. I can't go there, so I'm sorry.
All right, so we'll kill that. It's no fun. It's no fun when you're almost going to be on. It's got to be like I should have you on next week when you can obviously free. I guess that's what made Danielle's conversation so freeing last week was she was able to talk about it because it had happened the week before. So
that would be wonderful. Yeah, just the idea, some of the stuff that you just would love to talk about, but you're signed a piece of paper.
That's right. No need to get in any legal trouble. So overall, would you say it was like one of the best things you ever done? Would you like to see a lot of stuff changed? What would you keep and what would you revamp?
For me, it was definitely a bucket list experience. I mean, just, because I came into the sport through, the internet and the Food Network specials and stuff. So for me, it was just a wonderful experience. And we'd been at other things that were taped and, been in crowd scenes and stuff like that, but never really, in the action, as it were. I'm definitely not the centerpiece of the team. That's, I'm making sure that that's an emphasis. I'm just the guy that managed the fires. But, to be there was really a lot of fun. And to be able to bring my family was really neat because, my son Kyle was with me. And my wife was actually sitting in our RV looking out of the back window so that she couldn't be seen on camera, but she got to see the whole thing really close up. And then my daughter and my brother and sister-in-law, they were all there. And my daughter's boyfriend. So it was a great time.
Nice. Thom Emery joining us. And again, he'll be on the Barbecue Pitmasters TV show tomorrow night. That's the last of the qualifying rounds. And then the winner from tomorrow night's show will move on to the final showdown, the Super Bowl of the Pitmasters show. And that's going to the teams that we know that are in: Mo Cason from Ponderosa Barbecue, who I had never heard of before. Melissa Cookston from Yazoo's Delta Q, the current reigning champion of Memphis Barbecue Network and current Team of the Year points leader over there at the MBN. And then we have Johnny Trigg going in, and then whoever wins. There's somebody I'm missing, too, isn't there? Mo Cason, Melissa Cookston.
I'm drawing a blank.
Who the hell was that? That Johnny Trigg and
It's 5. It's 6 shows. That's it.
No, was it Firehouse Barbecue that won that, the brisket?
Oh, yeah, the guy that did cooked on the drum.
Yeah, I think so. Those
really
guys, whoever that was, and then whoever will be winning tomorrow will go into the finals for that $100,000 prize and the chance to win the.
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
I can tell you, it was a very close finish. I mean, it was really close. So that's.
What do you? Let me ask you about this because you have experience with judges. What do you think about this judging? Is this a lot of bullshit or what?
I really wish it had been blind judging. For the whole show, but they were going for there was all the camera reaction and all that stuff was a huge deal to them, and I understand that. We're making a TV show, so originally we had thought we were going to do the elimination round would be like at a table, kind of a Memphis and Make style, right there in front of us, and then the rest of it would be blind, but that's not how it. That's how they decided to do it with the camera. The action on the head cook's. The camera's on the head cook's face to get that reaction, and there was some dialogue too. It was really interesting, So we didn't have any digital dialogue in our episode, but it was good. There were some good moments there.
All right, Tom. So typically this doesn't happen in the second hour, but looks like we have somebody calling in. You want to take a live phone call?
Sure.
All right, hold on a second here. Let me see if I can do this right.
The legal department at TLC.
That's right. Okay, let's go to area code 909. You're on with Thom Emery. Do you have a question for Tom?
Yeah, hey, Tom. I wanted to ask if you'd decided if you're going to run for the board KCBS, and if you are, what you think the main issues are they're going to be facing the board over the next term.
All right, thanks for calling in tonight. Obviously, that's a very impatient caller because we know we're going to get to that time. Is 909, that's a West Coast exchange, isn't it? Oh, shit. Just hung up on Thom Emery, baby. Yeah, don't mess with me. It's my show. Forget it. Hold on a second. We're raising Tom back up with the eminent quickness here. See what happens? You try and be technically savvy. Tom, you there?
All right. We back there, buddy?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I apologize for that. Is 909 a West Coast exchange?
Yeah, 909 is close to here. It's probably one of the guys from the California Association. I didn't recognize his voice, but he's probably out here.
All right. Well, obviously, this man is very impatient because we know we're getting to the KCBS at some point here this evening. So, what were we talking about there? Everybody was
talking the show, and it was a good time. And
all right, none of the no middle fingers were flying at the judges.
No, we didn't do that.
All right. So. Good experience had by all there. And again, Tom will be on tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's go ahead and transition back over to what the caller's question was asking. You have been not overly vocal, but having expressed some interest in potentially running for the Kansas City Barbecue Society's Board of Directors. Certainly, there has been a lot of feelings either way. When it comes to talking about the board of directors, there's been a lot of turmoil that it seems, or there at least seems to be a lot of turmoil going on there, especially over the last 12, 16 months or so. So what's the impetus for you to want to jump into that? What is a perceived mess? What do you want to get in that for?
Wow, because I'm crazy. No, because the... there's a lot of wonderful things that are getting ready that are happening and getting ready to happen for barbecue, and I really would like to be a help to that. Part of what I'm doing now is talking to people that I know would be good on the board and asking them to run. So we're trying to have a group of people that are running that are more committed to the future of barbecue than winning their little argument. And I don't want to be, I don't plan to be disparaging of anybody that's on the board now, but my goodness, it just baffles me that we end up in these arguments. It just never seems to cease. And I'm hoping we can, if I'm elected, I hope we could change that and make it. People are not going to agree on everything, obviously, but I mean, just to fight over every little thing, it just seems such a waste of energy.
I have no inside knowledge on what exactly transpires there. You have to be a member in order to listen to these. I believe they've started at least podcasting their board meetings so the membership can listen to them. But just from what I've understood through reading posts on a number of the barbecue forums and talking to some people, it almost might seem a little naive of somebody that thinks that they're going to be able to go in just singularly. It almost sounds like there needs to be 4 or 5 people going in at one time, almost like a half revamp of the board of people with similar mindsets that want to get out of what you keep hearing about the it's all about me, or let's argue about all of the possible little things that you could possibly argue about instead of looking forward in a big picture sense, moving the sport forward. Do you think one person is really going to be able to make a difference?
No, I think it would be very difficult and very frustrating. That's why I'm talking to some other people, and we're just trying to get some guys who can work together and hopefully run, and then hopefully get enough people in there we can actually make a difference. And I think if we model that kind of behavior, others will, hopefully will try to pursue that also, and we can turn the thing. But there's 2 different groups there, and I talked to them separately, and they're both wonderful people. But my goodness, when they get together, it gets ugly, downright ugly sometimes. But.
So if you get in there, what are you going to do? What would you like to see change? What would you like to recommend in order to keep the boat running in the right place and moving forward?
Well, I've been doing the organizer roundtable. I did one at Mesquite, and I spoke at the one at the Nashville at the annual meeting, and giving confidence to the smaller size contest, and I even did a roundtable or the organizer evening with you. That's a good thing to be able to get people. We need the medium size to small contests. We need those for the health of the sport. I don't really want it to see where it's just a bunch of great big cook-offs and there's nothing else. It's just that's all we do. I really hope that we don't do that. So, working on that and putting energy into cooperation. Something that we did the year I was president in California that the team worked on and put together was we put together wiki pages that are in support of events so that the information is readily available in one place. And then there's ongoing conversation that follows out of that so that if the organizer so chooses, he can talk to the teams, he or she can talk to the teams and communicate where he's going and what he's trying to do. And the teams really like to be able to do that. And hopefully we can institute that. I'm not talking about a forum, like a chit-chat type of forum, or more of an information-based system.
Would you have any plans to bring about any type of rule changes at all?
Well, you got to work together. I mean, I was on the rules committee this year and would really... I personally, it's just me. I would love to see turducken added as a category. No.
Of course you would.
I would love to see white meat, in the box. But there's a lot of people the chicken thigh consortium has quite a hold on that thing right now. So that's just me. I think cooking the whole chicken, or at least the dark and the light meat, is a good thing. But we'll have to see how that goes.
I've asked that question before to some competitors and to people on the Kansas City Barbecue Society, the board of directors when they used to come on the show, but they feared the show, of course, and that's why they refused to come on a regular basis. But withholding that, the overwhelming sentiment was the fact that you wouldn't be able to get enough variety of meat in the box for all of the judges to taste, and you didn't want to have one judge have a piece of thigh, one judge have a piece of breast meat, and one judge have a leg, and not be able to, I guess, properly get a good cross-section of what is judges, because
there's only 6 judges. If you can't cut a chicken breast into 6 pieces, I don't know why that's not true. I don't see that, but that's just my opinion. I think you could put a chicken breast in there and slice it into 6 slices, or go that way. But that's I guess there's an argument if they think they have to cook full pieces, but you don't have to cook a full piece of chicken. It's a taste that they're sampling, not a. But hey, that's a minor thing. I don't think that's the central to what I'm trying to accomplish here.
And it should be pointed out that chicken thighs are not part of the rule. It's not regulated that you have to turn in chicken thighs.
No, and it's not regulated that you have to turn in the parsley in the box either, but you're foolish if you don't.
Yeah,
So.
well talked about issues right there. What do you feel about the garnish in the box since you brought it up? Is that something that you would like to see voted on and either have it voted in as mandatory or taken out altogether, leave as optional?
Leave it just like it is. We do it. My son is actually very good at it. We do it. I mean, Harry Sue teaches a wonderful class that every time he's at a competition, he teaches how to do it in a simple, effective way. It doesn't have to be that 1 hour long putting green construction thing. You don't have to do that. So but it keeps the meat. If you have pieces of meat in a box, the parsley or lettuce or whatever you use holds the stuff in place. It's a good thing to do it.
So,
I don't have a problem with it.
So why not put it in there as having to have to do it? When you leave it as optional and you see everybody do it, if you don't do it, you're really almost acing yourself out of at least getting a call. Definitely not going to win the thing because the teams that are always winning are always garnishing a box. So why not have a membership vote on it, either in or not in at all, and take it out of the limbo state of optional?
Well, I don't think it's a problem as it is, Greg. So I personally can live with it. I know there have been contests where people have not done it and done well. So it's not like it's required. But I personally feel like it's a good thing to do, so we do it.
There you go. All right. So Thom Emery saying that garnish should stay where it's at in the rule book, which is absolutely A-OK. Anything else that you would like to see addressed or potentially changed if you were to get into the BOD?
More than anything, it's the cooperation. I really like to see some kind of recognition for teams that don't cook every weekend. Some kind of a system, and we've had some conversations about that on the forums. And there's no perfect solution to that one for sure. But hopefully that they can come up with a system that would help recognize the teams that don't chase every weekend. But the main thing is just to get some cooperation going, and I have friends. Like I said, I have friends on both sides of the aisle, as it were, and I think we can get some cooperation going, so we don't fight about every single issue. And is it going to be daylight tomorrow? No, it's not going to be daylight if Merle says it. But that's not a good way to pursue things, And then on the other side, you got people that sometimes they just got to let stuff go, man. You can't micromanage the freaking organization. People got to be trusted to be adults. So anyway, I probably pissed off most everybody right there.
Very good. Thom Emery pissing everybody off and potentially running for KCBS Board of Directors. Tom, one more question here before I let you go, and you've kind of referenced it a couple times, so let me ask the question then. For the teams that are really out there busting ass and doing 25, 30-plus competitions a year, much like you said, let's not kind of cast aside the people that are out there maybe doing 4 or 5 for the event and kind of keep everybody growing. Do you think there might be a time, Tom, where there might be some type of super faction break off of the KCBS where you're able to section off the guys that are really putting in the 25, 30-plus competitions and taking them out of the general team of the year and making it almost like a super professional form, and then having something else for the people that aren't doing nearly as much?
Actually, I have proposed that the KCBS start a national pro team of the year, which would essentially be those guys that are chasing it right now, the national team of the year, and then going to a regional for the teams that just are not set up to do that, and it's just not part of their reality. But it's just an idea that's in process. It's not, we haven't got it all figured out, that's for sure. But I think if we embrace that and get out ahead of it and lead it, it could be a wonderful thing. I mean, KCBS has got there's just great things going on. They've got a network of people that are dedicated and doing this all for peanuts and kind of reward, really. And it works. Why mess with it? So we just got to let the professional teams go and develop that thing. But really would like to see the guys that are, that's best 10 scores, right? And if you have a best 5 scores based on region, and guys are cooking and they might cook 9, 10 contests, well, there's no way they're going to win the National Toy Award, but they maybe have a shot at winning a regional award. And I know some people are going to poo-hoo that because that's just not how we've done it, but that's, okay. I mean, I think the thing's growing, so there's all kinds of possibilities out there.
Tom, you got a website that people can hit you up on and follow what you're up to?
Sure, bbqtom.com. And we want to make sure we mention the Three Eyes Rub because that stuff's darn good, and then those boys were being darn good to me, so I always plug that whenever I can.
Three Eyes Barbecue Rub. Those guys are excellent people. Had them on the show a couple times already. Probably look to have them on again to maybe get a little reaction to this coming episode tomorrow night.
Actually, Dan would probably be an excellent post-contest guest because he's really got a great sense of humor, I think. All three of them just got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, all good guys, no doubt about it.
Right.
Tom's website again, BBQ Tom, and it's THOM, just in case. When you put in TOM and you get redirected back to some type of 404, it's bbqthom.com. Again, this is Thom Emery. He is a potential hopeful for KCBS Board of Director running for the upcoming year, but more importantly than that, you'll see him tomorrow night on TLC's BBP Pitmasters. It's Season 2. We'll be cooking with Three Eyes Barbecue. Tom, appreciate the insight on the BOD and also the TV show. Always appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man. Take care. There he is, Thom Emery. BBQ Tom, THOM, bbqtom.com, and check him out. He's on Facebook, too. Everybody's on Facebook. Get on Facebook if you're not on it. Don't think you're better than me because you're not on Facebook. I Twitter, too. Hey, Twitter. Come on. Put the guard down. Get on there. Social media. Reconnect with friends from high school that you love. All right. We're wrapping up. Thanks again to Leanne Whippen. ChicagoQRestaurant.com is her newest venture out there in Chicago where we talked to her tonight. Also, Bob and Don Denner, Boondoggle Barbecue. Find them on Facebook, Boondoggle BBQ. They also have boondogglebbbq.com as a website, but as Bob said, not updated that much. So good luck to them. American Royal, Invitational, and Open. Also to the Jack Daniels. And then Thom Emery, who I talked to for the last 35-plus minutes about the KCBS Board of Directors and what state that's in and what he would potentially do if he got elected or what he would like to do. And about the BBP Pitmasters show and his role cooking with Three Eyes Barbecue. All right, we'll be back again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with undoubtedly more succulent talk about open live fire grilling. But until then, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.